Hello, great people. Are you aware that a federal court in Canada has declared the People's Democratic Party and the ruling All Progressive Congress as terrorist organization? Why did the Canadian court make such a pronouncement on Nigeria's ruling and opposition party that engineers the leadership recruitment process in Nigeria? I will be telling you in this video, and most importantly, I will be telling you why you shouldn't affiliate with any of these political party, at least openly. If you are the type that you are dreaming to go abroad or you want to have anything to do abroad, in this particular video I will be telling you why you shouldn't affiliate, why you shouldn't show open affection or open association to any of the political parties in Nigeria, because as it stands right now, the Canadian government is seeing the APC and the PDP as terrorist organization. I will be sharing with you instances of what transpired in the court, and I will be reading to you a summary of the report as presented by People's Gazette. I will be presenting you the case of a Nigerian politician that traveled to Canada that goes by the name Douglas Egbareva. Douglas Egbareva traveled from Nigeria to Canada and he tried to gain asylum from the country, but the Canadian government rejected him. Why? Just because he has been a member of the PDP and he now moved over to the APC. And these parties, according to the Canadian government, they are not worthy to be associated with because they accuse them of terrorism and democratic subversion. I will dive into it and I will be telling you all what you need to know. Now, let's go to a summary of the court case, and I will be reading it in full for you as presented by People's Gazette. So the background to the case is also included in the report. So I will be reading everything for you as presented by People's Gazette, because if I'm to speak offhand, I'll be missing some important aspect of the judgment, and I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss any important part because People's Gazette have presented a perfect summary. Now, let's start the reading. It says a Canadian federal court has upheld a landmark immigration tribunal ruling that declared Nigeria's major political parties, the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party, terrorist organizations, while refusing asylum to a former member, Douglas Egbareva, over his decade-long affiliation with both parties. Now, don't mistake it. It is not because you are a member of the PDP or because you are a member of the APC. If you are a member of any of these political parties or any or both parties, then your visa can be denied, then your asylum can be denied, your scholarship can also be denied, particularly under the Canadian immigration system. And if you know that some of these countries, they copy each other, they share data. So the US is likely to toe the same line, the UK government, the French government is likely to toe the same line as well. And that is why you need to be very careful. Let's continue the reading of the summary of the judgment. Then you would understand why Nigerian political parties are being kind of like regarded in such a despicable manner. In a judgment delivered on June 17, 2025, obtained by People's Gazette, Justice Kwongo dismissed Mr. Egbareva's application for judicial review after Canada's Immigration Appeal Division found him inadmissible under security provisions of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. First, let me beg you for something before I continue. If you are doing something, or you are busy, or you are not listening attentively, or you are listening passively, please do not miss any part of this video, because I'm about to dive into something very deep. And please make sure you share this video to other people, because a lot of people are busy, saying that, oh, it must be PDP or nothing, it must be APC or ADC or nothing. Please do well to share this video to other people so that they can be duly informed. Now, I continue the reading. Dismissed Mr. Egbareva's application for judicial review after Canada's Immigration Appeal Division found him inadmissible under security provisions of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. The Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness had argued that the PDP and the APC were deeply implicated in acts of political violence, subversion of democracy, and electoral bloodshed, inflicting harm and terror on Nigerians. Mr. Egbareva, who joined the PDP at its founding in 1999, left in 2007 when he defected to the APC. That means that he was in PDP from 1999 to 2007. Then 2007 he defected to the APC. Yes, he defected to the APC, staying there till 2017. That means that if he defected to the APC since 2007, that means that he is of the Tinubu camp, maybe, or of the CPC camp. You know, it was a coalition of political parties that bettered the APC. So Mr. Agbareva may have been in CPC or ACN or AC at that point in time. Let's continue the reading. He claimed that his personal record was untainted by the violence and manipulation that plagued Nigerian politics, insisting he had never personally engaged in terrorism or subversion. But Justice Go was unconvinced, writing that, in quotes now, this is a quote, the conduct of individuals who are members of the PDP, including high-ranking officials and those who committed political violence and intimidation on their behalf, is too widespread. Listen to that. Is too widespread and persistent over too great a period of time to dissociate the leadership of the party from their actions. According to court filings, Mr. Agbareva entered Canada in September 2017 and disclosed his political history in a background declaration form. Under questioning by the Canada Border Services Agency in 2018, he confirmed his 8-year PDP membership before switching to the APC. Canada immigration authorities flagged, take note of that, Canada immigration authorities flagged his affiliations, citing intelligence and international reports that linked both parties, that is the PDP and the APC, to electoral misconduct and politically motivated killings. The IAD focused on PDP's record during the 2003 and 2004 polls as sufficient and determinative. That is, in quotes now, as sufficient and determinative for this case. But the court acknowledged evidence that political violence was not unique to one party, reflecting a broader culture of malpractice in Nigeria's political class. In January 2019, an immigration officer declared Agbareva inadmissible under Section 34 of the IRPA covering terrorism and subversion of democracy, while the Immigration Division initially ruled in his favor in 2020, saying that there is insufficient evidence to prove party leadership directly orchestrated killings or intended to undermine democracy. The minister appealed with new evidence. That means that when judgment was given in favor of the Nigerian, the minister over there in Canada appealed that judgment with new evidence. You can see that even village people, if I say that they follow Mr. Agbareva because judgment has already come your way, then the government now decide to appeal with new evidence of democratic impunity of political violence in Nigeria. They now appeal with new evidence, and when the judgment is to come, it now went against Mr. Agbareva. Let's continue the reading. The minister appealed with new evidence. However, on March 25, 2024, the IAD overturned the decision, concluding that PDP engaged in acts of subversion and terrorism, and that mere membership, regardless of personal involvement, triggered inadmissibility. Now, you hear that too? Justice Go's ruling last month upheld that conclusion. Central to the decision was the PDP's violent record during the 2003 state elections and 2004 local government polls, where it controlled the federal government and most states during the tenure of former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Vice President Atiku Abubakar. The IAD found, and the judge agreed, that PDP members and loyalists engaged in ballot stuffing, ballot box snatching, voter intimidation, and the killing of opposition supporters and candidates. The party leadership, enjoying the benefit of such violence, took no action to stop it. Justice Go said this met Canada's legal definition of subversion of a democratic process under paragraph 34(1)(b)(1) of the IRPA, meaning, in quotes now, accomplishing change by illicit means or for improper purposes related to an organization, even without the use of force. The court also reaffirmed Canada's broad interpretation of membership in a proscribed organization under paragraph 34(1)(f) of the IRPA. The government need not prove personal complicity. Now, listen to this, great people. The government need not prove personal complicity or significant integration. Acknowledging membership during violent periods was enough. You heard that? Acknowledging membership during violent periods was enough. So all the yamayama or the magomago that APC is doing at the moment, if you say you are a member of APC, acknowledging membership during violent period is enough. You can hear what the Canadian court is saying. Now, a quote now from the judgment. An admission of membership in an organization is sufficient regardless of the nature, frequency, duration, or degree of involvement. Justice Go stated. Mr. Egbareva's argument that violence was endemic across all Nigerian parties and that it was unfair to call the PDP's action subversion when Nigeria's election could be deemed could not be deemed democratic by Canadian standard was dismissed as legally untenable. So Nigerian election, all your election, oh, Tinubu is the winner, well, Tinubu returned elected, oh, Flawolu returned elected, what's this PDP guy, Ademola Adeleke returned elected. You can see the Canadian government is saying that Nigerian election is deemed undemocratic by Canadian standards. What a shame indeed. Justice Go wrote that even flawed Nigerian elections constitute a democratic process under Canadian law, and undermining them for political gain is subversion. Yes, you heard me right. Undermining them for political gain is subversion. The ruling stands as one of the clearest pronouncements by a foreign court equating Nigeria's ruling and former ruling parties with terrorist entities under international law. It reaffirms that party membership abroad can justify exclusion. The listing here now, the listing where now it reaffirms that party membership abroad can justify exclusion from Canada if the organization is linked to terrorism or democratic subversion, even without a criminal record or evidence of personal violence. That is why ignorance is no defense. So if you are the type that you are always clamoring, oh, the election, APC must win and all that, and you've been posting it on your social media, I just pity you. Pity is your name. Now, let's continue. Justice Go rejected Mr. Egbereva's request to reinstate the original 2020 decision in his favor, ruling that even if the IAD's conclusion had been unreasonable, the case would have been sent back for reconsideration, not decided outright in his favor. The dismissal leaves Mr. Egbareva's asylum claim effectively dead, with deportation proceedings expected to follow. You just watched that. You just heard that, right? Deportation proceedings expected to follow. Well, what I can say is that if you are the type that affiliate with these political parties, continue. And God has answered some of our prayers, that the people that put Nigeria in the state that it is, that the politicians, that when they apply for visa of asylum, God should never let it be granted. They should return to the Nigeria that they have ruined for you and I and the upcoming generation. So what I can say to you as a politiker is never affiliate with any political party online and even in document. If you are applying for a visa and they ask, do you have any political party affiliation, just say no. And mind what you post on social media, mind what you comment on social media as well, because these things might come back to hurt you just as it has hurted Mr. Egbareva. So you need to be very, very careful. And I hope that the Nigerian system will begin to operate an electoral process that is not flawed. Because if we are to speak the truth to ourselves, the Nigerian democratic process is deeply flawed. And if I'm to compare it with some of the countries that have resided, definitely Nigerian election by international standard is below expectation and it won't pass as a democratic process. I wish you the best of luck. Just be careful. Mind how you comment. Mind what you post. Mind how you affiliate with these political parties, any one of them on social media. I wish you the best of luck. It's been an interesting time. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.